everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a pick a card reading on what is your spiritual gifts and abilities. So this is going to be a spiritual reading on this topic. So I've prepared 3 groups for you to pick intuitively, and to help you do this I've laid out 3 different crystals. So for group 1 we have the blue calcite. For group number 2 we have the purple labradorite. And then for group 3 we have the rose quartz stone. So please take a minute or two to meditate and decide which pile you feel most drawn to. Please remember that this is a general reading, so it may not resonate with everyone. Feel free to tune into multiple readings if you are attracted to more than one pile. All the individual timestamps will be linked in the description box below, so make sure you press the description box to find your individual timestamp, and then you can skip ahead to the time. So I'm going to start with group 1, and for the rest of you I will see you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the blue calcite stone. So this is a really soothing and calming stone, so this is great for relaxation. So I prepared 1 card for you, and the rest I will be pulling a live shuffle. Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands as your first card. So what I want you to know in what your spiritual gifts and abilities is that you could be this kind of lusty and free-spirited person. So what I mean by this is you are very creative. So that could be one of your gifts, is that you are kind of very much have this kind of free will and free spirit to kind of do as you please. So in terms of creativity, perhaps you are an astral traveler. So what I mean by this is kind of like an out-of-body experience. So perhaps you've never tried this. Perhaps you are just starting to get into meditation, or perhaps you should think about that, because I am seeing that excitement and travel is kind of what is your spiritual gift here. So one thing I'm seeing as your spiritual gift is that you are very passionate, so you're very kind of into kind of adventure and excitement, as I say. So as I see you as a very kind of fiery kind of person, so I am seeing very much excitement and adventure is definitely your kind of spiritual gifts. You don't want any kind of thing that's boring to kind of work on. So we do have the Queen of Wands, which is interesting because you also have the Knight of Wands, and then you also have the Ace of Cups. So with the Queen of Wands, I very much am getting, again, this feisty person full of confidence and self-assurance. So this could be your spiritual gift as well, that you just really sort of, you just very much gifted in your own kind of comfortability of your body. So again, this does relate back to kind of astral travel, and many kind of people do claim to have these kind of out-of-body experience. So perhaps you are able to connect with a past life. Perhaps you can kind of have these kind of moments of deja vu, and you're a bit like, oh, I feel like I've been here before. That's very much the kind of message I'm getting here. So one thing I see in the Ace of Cups is perhaps you are able to kind of, like I say, where you have these kind of deja vu moments, perhaps you're also able to predict certain things as well. Perhaps you see if someone is pregnant, perhaps you kind of notice the signs. Perhaps you are able to predict like new relationships or marriages happening. It's just something in your kind of mind that goes boom, I know that this is the case. So you also have a lot of fire signs here, and you also have water signs. So we're going to see if furthermore the elements are your spiritual gifts. So let's just get a few more messages from the tarot. Okay, so we have the 10 of Cups. So again, we are very much sticking with these elements, which is interesting because, as I said, I feel like you have this kind of ability to kind of attract news to you. So I'm getting the strong energy that you can tell when there is family contentment and total love and support as well. So like I said, I'm definitely getting the strong energy of an astral traveler a kind of past life experience and very much predictions that you can kind of predict. So let's just further move on with your reading and see what else we can find. Okay, so we have Secret Doorway. Working with intuition, second sight opening, dimensional doorways. So again, this just clarifies to me what I was saying, is I do feel like you have this opportunity and ability to kind of enter this secret doorway. So this doorway passage is something that no one else can enter. Only you had the ability to do this. So this is definitely your spiritual gift or ability, is you are able to work with your intuition, which is what I spoke about earlier in your reading, that you just know and you're very good at detecting things. Almost like, yeah, you're just very good at kind of sight opening and with your eyes. You're able to see things. You're able to kind of predict certain things that happen in people's lives. So one thing I see in dimensional doorways is definitely that you are an astral traveller. I feel like I'm just getting that strong energy that you can either connect with past lives or you can have these out-of-body experiences. But like I said, perhaps you haven't sort of realised this yet, or perhaps some of you are working on strengthening this. So we also have Far, Far Away, creative daydreaming. Okay, group number 1. So this is just getting more interesting. So one thing I see in creative daydreaming is where I had this energy coming through that, you know, perhaps you are an astral traveller, or you can connect with the past life and very much be in the know of what people are doing. I am seeing creative daydreaming is, again, something you need to work on. I feel like you can connect to kind of other realms through either daydreaming or perhaps sleeping at night. Perhaps, you know, you are into dream work. I'm getting that kind of connection. But definitely creative daydreaming is definitely giving me the signs of like meditation. So perhaps if you you kind of notice yourself sometimes just going out, like drifting out of space, and in your eyes you're sort of seeing visions of other things. So one thing I want you to know is perhaps you need to definitely work on meditation in daydreaming, because I feel like your dreams at night, also daydreaming, is definitely your abilities here. It's definitely coming through as this really strong. Okay, so let's get one more clarifier for this of what I'm sensing for your abilities. So we need more spiritual gifts and abilities, please. Okay, we have the Growl Fairy. So this is fertility, the return of life, health and life cycles. Okay, so this so really connects well to the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups here. I hope you can see that. We have a great colour coordination here as well. Those cards really do mingle in beautifully. One thing I see in here, especially with fertility, like I said, you are able to kind of predict these things. You have the sense and the intuition to know what others are kind of up to. The return of life, obviously I'm sensing again this astral travel aspect. So for some of you, you might have all these abilities, and for others of you, you just might have a few or haven't quite picked up on them yet. So in terms of some of you, you're able to connect with past lives. Others are able to have these kind of out-of-body experiences, especially with daydreaming. Your daydreams just go like, whoa, out of this world. For some of you, I've seen you are able to kind of connect with the moon. Gazing out at night is daydreaming at the moon. It almost gives you these signs of like life cycles. You are very much have the ability to be really, like I say, the adventurous and fun side of you is very much able to connect with your health. You're very much healthy, and you have this ability to kind of, again, just detect what is going on around you and the kind of health of other people. So let's get some more cards for you on your spiritual gifts and abilities. I am seeing with the return of life, you are able to kind of connect back to earth really quickly. So if you do have these out-of-body experiences, don't panic. You are able to kind of have the ability to drift yourself back. So let's just see what else we can pull for you. Okay, we have a flipping card. So we have transform, transitional and rebirth. So one thing I see in this card is, again, we was talking about, you know, returning to life, fertility, these kind of things. So rebirth is definitely something you are able to kind of rebirth a situation. So this again reverts back to past lives and astral travel. So one thing I see as your abilities here, definitely the colour blue. as standing out. We also have the elder. We also have musical pipes and facing northwest. So these are animals, places and gemstones as well. So we have the iolite. I am sensing that you're able to kind of transform. So you're able to kind of transform and rebirth into anything you want. So perhaps with your daydreaming or out of body experiences, you can definitely transform into anything you like. So this is a really exciting gift. So very much we had that kind of exciting, fun, adventure energy. So let's just get 2 more cards for your spiritual gifts and abilities. 2 more gifts and spiritual abilities for group number 1. Okay, so that is just so interesting. So you obviously have the fertility card here. So we have the colours pale grey, we have the agate stone. So we also have things like the toad and the black bird. So perhaps symbology here is perhaps these are things you're able to see in your kind of astral travel or dream work. Perhaps, you know, we have earth and an entrance. One thing I see in entrance is very much connected to the secret doorway here. Very much that is the entrance. You're able to kind of enter this kind of portal that no one else can. So perhaps certain animals like toads and blackbirds is something you might be seeing as well. So what I want you to know here is this is very much hidden manifestation. So what I mean by that is you have this ability to kind of something that's hidden, you are able to kind of manifest it with your own eyes. So again, you do have this ability. I do feel like you have the ability to sense people's fertility. So perhaps you're just very much connected with women's cycles is what I'm seeing here. Spiritual gifts and abilities, please, for group number 1 to end this reading on. Final clarification card, please. Okay, so we have we have increased unexpected fortune. So one thing I see here, we have purpley brown colour, we have the golden obsidian gemstone, as well as the hedgehog. So again, in terms of animals, if any of these animals you're picking up on. We also have a bracelet which could represent something in your astral travel or daydreaming you might be seeing. Perhaps this is connected to a person. We have stone circle. We also have twilight. So again, we are connecting very much to the moon. I'm seeing unexpected fortune here. So this card just does indicate you have this heightened ability. Everything is just getting increased by the moment. So if you work on these abilities here, you're definitely going to reach this kind of, again, this higher level spiritual realm. So this is definitely your spiritual gifts. And as your final card, I'm seeing that that is your fortune, that is your destiny, and that is very much what's going to bring you good fortune here. So it's a very good card to pull, and I'm seeing again that your these are your abilities to kind of work on. So group number 1, I really hope you enjoyed your reading on your spiritual gifts and abilities. Please let me know down below what resonates, if any of these spiritual gifts you've perhaps tried or experienced, and let me know in the comments below. Subscribe, like the video, and I will see you in my next pick a card reading. Hello group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So this is going to be what is your spiritual gifts and abilities. So I've prepared 1 card and the rest I will pull in a live shuffle. So you chose the stone labradorite, which is a purple one, and this is the stone of transformation. So this is really good at connecting with your psychic abilities and enhancing them. Okay, so your first card is the 6 of Pentacles. So one thing I see here, you have this ability to give and receive gifts. So I very much see your gift as being, you want to be a helper and someone who's very generous as well. Generosity is something you love to give. So I am sensing a kind of light worker energy here, and I am sensing perhaps you are someone as well who likes to use tarot cards or oracle cards yourself. So let's further clarify this. I am sensing that you are someone who likes to give information and advice and be really helpful in this. So we have the Hanged Man. So one thing I see in the Hanged Man is you have this ability of wisdom and almost like this self-sacrifice. I'm getting the energy that you get this kind of different perspective. So perhaps your ability is you're able to see things that other people can't see. So this could be mentally or physically. Perhaps in your own eyes you're able to see things. You might be able to see spirits, or perhaps you're just able to kind of see messages that the universe gives you. So again, I'm sensing that you're someone who's interested in cards. So in the Six of Pentacles, these little discs look like little eyes. So obviously with the Hanged Man upside down as well, and he's kind of almost covering his eyes, I do see you have this ability to see things that other people can't see. And I'm definitely feeling like spirits is definitely coming in here. So perhaps you're someone who sees orbs of light. So you might not even see ghosts, it could just be these kind of orbs of light that come in. So let's just see if we can clarify further spiritual gifts and abilities. Okay, so we also have Six of Wands. So one thing I see in Six of Wands, again with this energy of like you like to give messages and receive messages as well. That's kind of coming through strong. And very much see from this you kind of get this victory and awards. So very much this recognition that you receive. So it's very much of like good news and success. And that's very much like that you love to give positive energy to people. So again, I am sensing you are this person who likes to give advice by cards. And you're also someone who again has this connection to kind of orbs and spirits. So I'm getting this energy, perhaps you are a light worker. So a light worker is someone who loves to help people, and they very much have this kind of spiritual gift in able to do that. You definitely have this eye of you that no one else has, and you definitely are in a strong position in your psychic abilities. So perhaps you are in a higher kind of potential of this, so perhaps you know you are quite experienced. So we also have the Five of Pentacles. So one thing I see in the Five of Pentacles in terms of your spiritual gifts and abilities, perhaps you are afraid to share these with other people. So perhaps even though you feel really strong in your connection to these abilities that you're experiencing, perhaps you are just too scared to kind of experience a loss. Perhaps you are someone who is actually I'm getting the energy now of orbs again, that you can connect with spirits, and perhaps you don't know this yet and perhaps it's scaring you, but I am sensing that you can connect with people that have passed on. So I am sensing perhaps you know you can connect with people who have been ill, who have these health problems or have passed away, and I am sensing that you are able to kind of again just connect with other realms. So that is kind of interesting. So let's just clarify and see if I'm on the right track here. So let's just further clarify more spiritual gifts and abilities. Let's clarify these spiritual gifts and abilities for group number 2, please. Okay, so we have the Littlest Fairy. Appreciate the beauty and value of the exquisite and small. So I feel like, again, where I said you have this ability to see things with your eyes that no one else can see, I see you have this appreciation of the littlest things. So I feel like you have a strong ability to detect the smallest of things with your eyes. So again, I am connecting to kind of orbs, because orbs are very small and they are kind of hard to capture. I do see you are able to sense the smallest things, so perhaps butterflies, spirit animals that are passing you daily. You might be able to connect with little creatures that are giving you these kind of messages. So perhaps you know you have dabbed into clairvoyant energy here, so perhaps you're just someone who's able to connect and receive messages, and that's the whole give and receive card that we received in the Six of Pentacles. Perhaps you're able to kind of give people messages from the other side. So we also have Beauty's Truth, so we have a lot of beauty energy here. So I am sensing your aura is very positive. One thing I see in beauty, physical pleasure and sensuality, is you have the ability to kind of sense things. Again, you have a strong sense. So you may be someone who is very connected to senses and smells. Perhaps you are able to kind of smell or sense spirits around you. And I do get the sense you're not scared. I'm getting the sense and that your ability, you are able to kind of feel pleasure from this, because you see beauty in the kind of spiritual realm. And I feel like your abilities are giving you this kind of physical pleasure. So you definitely need to continue working with this. I'm definitely getting that vibe. So I'm sensing you are very sensitive to these energies around you. That's definitely coming through. So let's just clarify one more spiritual gift or ability. Okay, so we have beauty and the beast. So again, we are very much connecting to beauty here. The beauty that is surrounding you. Unconditional love. So one thing I see in unconditional love, you have this ability again to see the beauty in everything. So perhaps some people would be scared of these abilities, but you're not. Your ability, you have the feeling to kind of love unconditionally your psychic abilities. So your spiritual gifts and abilities, you very much have this like love, that you love everything. So perhaps people are scared of spiders or little creatures and bugs that perhaps you see as beauty, you see as earth, and you see that, you know, the creations of all these kind of creatures are not the beasts. You see beauty in everything. So that is a really good ability to have, is to not be afraid or scared of things that people would actually see as potentially ugly. You see especially as well as orbs and spirits. Some people are really scared of these things and they see them as bad, but that is definitely the energy here, is you have this ability to again not see that. You see the good in almost everything. So your ability is definitely in the eye. It's definitely your senses and the way you see things. 100% is coming through for you. So let's clarify more spiritual gifts and abilities for group number 2 of my YouTube audience. Okay, so we have radiant, benevolent strength. So one thing I see here, you have the color coordinations here of yellow, if that rings a bell. We also have the cat's eye gemstone, which is actually kind of freaky, because I've been mentioning all along that I'm seeing kind of eyes in your reading, that you just have this strong ability to see things. So you have the cat's eye gemstone, which is actually so strange because cat's eye has the ability to kind of see things. So one thing I want you to know is that the properties of a cat's eye is it is believed to protect the wearer from evil spirits. So you're definitely protected from evil spirits. So again, you do see just the good things. You also have the falcon bird as your kind of spiritual messenger here. We have a necklace. So perhaps this could be a message that someone is trying to give to you. So these are all symbols and signs that you need to kind of connect with. So one thing I see in this card is you definitely have this radiation around you. So again, your aura is just really pure, and you have this kind of radiation of light that you are able to see. You are able to kind of see spirits and orbs if you let your mind and eye see them. One thing I see is that you have this strength, this inner strength in your abilities. And I do sense that you have also the strength of your abilities to continue. So you actually have such strong abilities here. I'm definitely getting that energy. So let's pull 2 more cards from this deck. Oh, okay. We have a flying card. So we have initialize boundless potential. So again, the things to concentrate here. We have translucent color. So this is transparent. We have the clear topaz, so very much clear energy here. So we have connections here to summer and facing south. We also have the goat, and we also have a ring here as well. So these are certain things again to look out for. If any kind of animals or materials or seasons spring to your mind when you see these cards, please let me know down below if anything resonates. So again, I feel like your potential here is just super clear. You have this clear vision. That is definitely what's coming through. And you have this sense of purity. But your vision, again, is just your potential is growing. And that is your ability here, is you're able to kind of work on these abilities. So I'm also sensing that perhaps you're initializing your stage in your growth. So again, perhaps you do want to continue using tarot. Perhaps tarot cards is something you're deeply connected with as well. Perhaps that is how you connect with the orbs and spirits around you. Spiritual gifts. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we have control, virtuous quest. So one thing I see here, we have the warm yellow colour, we have the calcite stone, we have the month of July, if that resonates with any of you. We also have the cat and the owl. So one thing I see in the cat and owl, especially where we had the cat's eye gemstone, is you have this, again, your intuition is strong. The cat and the owl connect well with intuition. Again, these could be spiritual animals that you connect with. I'm sensing the pull of energy as well. And we have mirror. So perhaps, you know, looking in a mirror, you may see a spirit. Perhaps mirror work is something you are working on. So one thing I see in this card is you are able to control your abilities. And you're definitely on this quest. This is definitely almost like a mission that you're on to complete, but it's not ever going to end because your abilities are going to kind of form an even stronger bond. So group number 2, I really hope you enjoyed this reading. Like I said, the strong message here was you have this ability to see things that other people can't see. So again, this could just be the you know, the beauty in the earth. Perhaps you see you know, the universe signs. Or perhaps you are able to see orbs. That's one thing I'm seeing in spirits. Either way, your abilities, you are able to help other people here. So you definitely do need to use your abilities to help other people. So group number 2, I really hope you enjoyed this reading. Please let me know down below what resonates. Leave me a comment, subscribe, and I shall see you in my next pick a card reading. Hello group number 3 and welcome to your reading. So you chose the rose quartz gemstone, and this is a stone of unconditional love. It's very much about forgiveness and healing, so it's very good for friendships and relationships. So let's see what your first card is, and the rest I will pull in a live shuffle. Okay, so you have the Page of Pentacles. So one thing I see here is you have the ability to be really patient. And you do have the ability to be a messenger. Now, perhaps you are a messenger to other people. Perhaps you are an empath and you can kind of connect with people's emotions, and you can be a messenger for this. You almost have the ability to connect with people and their emotions and how they are feeling. You are very sensitive to this. Perhaps, you know, you are receiving messages as well. Perhaps you receive angel numbers frequently. So perhaps you're seeing the numbers 111 a lot, or 222. So let's see what other spiritual gifts and abilities are coming through for group number 3, please. Okay, so we also have the 4 of Wands. So one thing I see in the 4 of Wands is you are going to be able to celebrate your basically your spiritual gifts and abilities. So I'm also getting the energy here of a reunion. So perhaps there is some kind of spiritual gift you need to reunite yourself with. Perhaps you have the ability again to kind of connect with friends and family and being the kind of empath energy that you are. Some of you, perhaps you have the kind of spiritual ability to be a clairvoyant. Perhaps you are able to kind of receive messages. I'm just coming through strong those messages. So then we also have the Ace of Swords. So one thing I see in the Ace of Swords, this is very much your new ideas, new conflicts. I see mental clarity here as well. So one thing I'm able to see is your spiritual gifts and abilities. You are able to focus and mentally. So what I mean by this is you are able to kind of connect with people. So I am seeing perhaps even like counselling, perhaps your ability is just be able to kind of communicate with people. I'm sensing you have the ability almost to be a healer. So let's just clarify more your spiritual gifts and abilities for group number 3 of my YouTube audience. Spiritual gifts coming through. Okay, then we also have, okay, the Hermit. So the Hermit is a highly spiritual card in your reading. So I want you to know, you have to go within for clarity. So there could be a quest, perhaps is your gift, that you need to explore, almost for personal truth. So I am seeing spiritual illumination. That is definitely what I'm seeing here. So the Hermit card is so strong in your reading because this is spiritual enlightenment. So it's like the perfect time for you to kind of engage in spiritual activities. So this could be meditation, energy work, psychic development, or connecting to your own spirit guides. you are coming to a time of like incredible spiritual growth. So, you know, you may be someone who wants to be on their own, or, you know, perhaps you find yourself seeking solitude or isolating yourself in some respect. So it just wants you to know that you should focus right now on your spiritual abilities, which again confirms this in the gift: a present and offer, nutrients, growth and potential. So we was talking about your growth, which is interesting because, you know, you need to kind of focus on your spiritual side and allow yourself to take this time to kind of listen to your inner guidance, because I feel like you're going to get so much rewards on your next kind of spiritual level. So one thing I see in the gift is you have this ability and you have this gift. You know, this potential that you have is definitely there in your spiritual growth. So one thing that's coming through quite strong is again a messenger that you need to kind of share this with other people. Your gifts is something that you don't want to waste. So that's definitely what's coming through. So again, perhaps you're someone who, you may even be into magic or be like a witch. One thing I see in the stolen in her sleep, this is unaware, unconscious, unawakened. This is very much something you haven't experienced yet. So when I had this message come through of a witch or kind of some kind of magical energy, this is something that perhaps you are unaware of. You haven't experienced your full growth and potential yet. You have more abilities than you know. So this is unawakened gifts. Very much you may connect more in your sleep. So perhaps dream work, or so perhaps you receive messages in your sleep and you wake up and you wonder, what did that dream mean? Or why did these words or numbers or colours or something come into mind? So perhaps that's something you need to explore more. Spiritual gifts and abilities for group number 3 of my YouTube. Okay, so we have the Gatekeeper. Fairy time, time shifts, dimensional slips. So one thing I see in the Gatekeeper is, again, you are the kind of in charge of the gate, and this doorway can lead you to like different realms, different levels of spiritual growth. So one thing I see is you are definitely holding the key here. One thing I see is that you are able to kind of connect with time shifts. So perhaps, you know, sometimes you have these time shifts where you're missing time, or, you know, something just went so fast that you were just unsure of what it meant. Very much in dimensional slips, you are slipping through different dimensions here. So again, I am just sensing energy perhaps of magical things. So perhaps some of you are dipping into magic or manifesting intentions. Very much crystal work is to do with manifesting and putting your intentions into that kind of work. So perhaps you're also interested in that for some of you. So what other spiritual gifts and abilities? Okay, so we have 2 cards here that came out. Okay, so the one we have, manipulate physical matter. So we have coordinations here. We have the colour deep grey. We have the azurite stone. We have midnight, nightshade, hound. We have the goose as the totem animal. So any of these things may resonate with you. So just take a minute or two to kind of meditate on these words, keywords, and see what springs to mind. So one thing I see in physical matter, again, you're just not realizing your physical abilities, and you are able to kind of manipulate your energy to anything you want. You know, in correlation to the Gatekeeper, you just have this really strong ability. It's actually such a strong ability that you have that you need to kind of continue with. We also have discover secret mystery. We have yellowy green colour. We have the peridot gemstone. We also have September, so this could ring a bell for any of you. Perhaps you're having visions of certain things that you're predicting. So perhaps deer is your spiritual animal as well. So one thing I see in Discover Secret Mystery is, again, you just haven't tapped into your full potential here of your psychic and spiritual abilities. So I feel like you haven't unlocked your full potential. One more card, please. Spiritual gifts and abilities to end this reading on. Okay, so we have establish prosperous success. So we have the colour black, we also have the stone malachite, we have the full moon, we have bear and raven as kind of spiritual messengers here. So please look at these keywords, see if anything is relating to you in terms of what you are seeing or experiencing. So I feel like you need to establish your success here. I feel like you have reached full potential of some of your spiritual gifts, but you do need to kind of explore more of your gifts. That's definitely what I'm seeing here, is your gifts are still kind of work coming through. And it's a great card to end your reading on, because success is definitely coming your way in your spiritual gifts and abilities. So whether you are experiencing, you know, magic or, you know, psychic abilities, I'm seeing that some of you are able to connect with angel messengers. So perhaps you are seeing angel numbers, or you're getting messages from the universe. Perhaps you're seeing white feathers. I'm just very much getting the energy that your gifts, you are still exploring, but you do have magical gifts. So it's definitely coming through as a magical term is definitely coming through. You know, especially with the Hermit card as a major aspect here, you definitely are on a spiritual awakening journey. So you may be experiencing certain things, especially in the symbols we had in these 3 cards here. Perhaps you are connecting with those aspects. So group number 3, I really hope you enjoyed your reading. Please let me know what resonates. Please leave me a comment, subscribe, like the video, and I shall see you in my next pick a card reading.